Good morning, class 4 students. Today we are going to study about a very famous, unique personality in the world. That person is no more now, but people all over the world remembers that person. There is none other than Mother Teresa. We all know about Mother Teresa. We heard about Mother Teresa that she worked in Calcutta, lived in Calcutta for a long period of life, and worked for the poor, orphan, crippled, lepers, and all. Let us see in the chapter about Mother Teresa. So before going to study about Mother Teresa, we know that some other famous personality. Here, Malala Yousafzai, and second one, Martin Luther King Jr., and the third one is Nelson Mandela. All these three also very famous personality in the world. Let us read the chapter and study about Mother Teresa, Calcutta. When we think about a person who spent his or her life in doing good for others, one of the names that comes to the mind is Mother Teresa. We know that when we think about the people who work for the society or who worked for the society, immediately one name comes in our mind. That is Mother Teresa, because she dedicated her life for the poor people of Calcutta, orphan of Calcutta, crippled people of Calcutta, and also the people who suffered leprosy. Mother Teresa, such a very dedicated woman. Let us see about Mother Teresa. So when we think about a person who spent his or her life in doing good for others, one of the names that comes to the mind is Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was small in stature, which means she was not a tall woman, just under 5 feet tall. Mother Teresa was small in stature, just under 5 feet tall. But what set her apart? What makes her different from other people all over the world? Why she is something different from other people all over the world? That is called set her apart. Mother Teresa was small in stature, just under 5 feet tall. But what set her apart were her unique qualities of prayer, love, and compassion. What is compassion? Kindness towards fellow people. Kindness towards everyone. That is called compassion. Because she was so kind. She loved everyone. She used to pray to God. So these were unique qualities for Mother Teresa. This is her unique qualities. Because of these unique qualities, she was totally different from other people all over the world. Now let us read about this great personality, Mother Teresa. In 1910, in Skopje, that is pronounced as Skopje in Macedonia, Aeneas, that is, it is given that A-N-J-Z-E, this is pronounced as Aeneas. Aeneas Gongsa Bojadziu was born into a Roman Catholic family that was originally from Albania. Albania, a European nation. So in 1910, in Skopje, that is pronounced as Skopje, S-K-O. So we know that we are going to study about Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa. So in 1910, in Skopje in Macedonia, Aeneas Gongsa Bojadziu was born into a Roman Catholic family. Gongsa Bojadziu, that is the pronunciation. Aeneas Gongsa Bojadziu in Macedonia. So in 1910, in Skopje in Macedonia, Aeneas Gongsa Bojadziu was born into a Roman Catholic family that was originally from Albania. Where is Albania? Albania, a European nation. Even as a child, Aeneas was God-fearing and spiritual. So we can pronounce his Aeneas as Agnes. Agnes Gongsa Bujaxio. So even as a child, Agnes was God-fearing and spiritual. God-fearing. She started to pray. She started to believe in God. She believed that one power is there. One power is there. One force is there. God. She called that power as God. She believed in God deeply. And she started to believe in religion, spiritual. She was so religious. By the time she was 12 years old, she was convinced that she wanted to lead a religious life. She was convinced of that. She believed that she needed to lead a religious life. Not like other people in the world. She never liked to lead a comfortable life. She wanted to lead a religious life, spiritual life. She wanted to serve humanity. For that, she believed that her aim in the life that she wanted to lead a religious life. By the time she was 12 years old, she was convinced that she wanted to lead a religious life. When Agnes was 18 years old, she joined the Loreto order. Loreto order. That is pronunciation. So when Agnes was 18 years old, she joined the Loreto order. What is this Loreto order? It was a group or society of the spiritual world. She went to Dublin in Ireland. Where she had to undergo training for a few months. She wanted to work as a nun. For that, she joined in Loreto order. She went to Dublin in Ireland, and there she wanted to take some training for a few months. When she completed her training, she was sent to Kolkata by this Loreto order. So when she completed her training, she was sent to Kolkata, then Calcutta, former Calcutta. In 1931, Agnes took her first vows as a nun. Vows means promises. In 1931, as a nun, firstly she promised that she would dedicate her life for serving humanity. In 1931, Agnes took her first vows as a nun. So here, Anjis, we know that actually Aeneas, K-N-J-E-Z-E. This we can call Agnes. Agnes. In 1931, Agnes took her first vows as a nun, was promises. The name given to her as a nun was Teresa. So when she took promises or when she took her vows, she got a new name that was Teresa. The name given to her as a nun was Teresa, meaning little flower. She was called Mother Teresa from then onwards. In 1931 onwards, she was called as Mother Teresa. Agnes Gonza Bujaxio. That was her real name. So she was born in 1910, and in 1931, when she undertook the promises, vows, her name was changed as Mother Teresa, means little flower. She was called Mother Teresa from then onwards. She worked as a teacher in St. Mary's High School, Kolkata from 1931 to 1948. She worked as a teacher in St. Mary's High School, Kolkata from 1931 to 1948. While traveling in and around Kolkata, Mother Teresa came across so much misery and poverty that her heart went out to the sufferers. When she traveled through the cities of Kolkata, she saw the people, so many kinds of people. Poor people were there, poverty, suffering people were there, and also lepers, those people who were suffering from the disease leprosy, crippled, physically challenged people, so much such a category of people she saw. Misery. People who were suffering a lot of grievances, problems she saw. And her heart started to pain. She started to get pain. Her heart went out to the sufferers. That is, she felt so sad to the poor people. She thought something she wanted to do for the poor people. While traveling in and around Kolkata, Mother Teresa came across so much misery and poverty. By seeing this misery and poverty, by seeing the poor people, by seeing the people who suffer from leprosy, by seeing the crippled or physically challenged people, her heart felt so sad. She thought that she wanted to do something for the poor people. She felt that her real mission was to work with and for the poorest of the poor in the slums. She thought that, she realized the fact that her aim of the life, mission of the life is to dedicate herself for the poor people of the slums, poorest of the poor people of the slums. She wanted to save them, she wanted to protect them, she wanted to give shelter to them. That was her real mission. She thought that. So she felt that her real mission was to work with and for the poorest of the poor in the slums. So in 1948, she requested the Loreto authorities, Loreto Academy or Loreto Order. So in 1948, she requested the Loreto authorities to allow her to leave the convent. What is convent? Convent is a place where nuns live. Convent is a building, is a house where nuns live. She wanted to come out of convent. Then only she would be able to work for the poor. Then only she would be able to understand the grievances of the people. Then only she would be able to wipe out the tears of the poor people. For working, for dedicating herself for the poorest of the poor, she wanted to come out of convent. So she requested to the Loreto authority to allow her to come out of the convent. The task that Mother Teresa undertook was not easy because millions of people were there as sufferers. In Kolkata, large number of people were there as sufferers. So it was not an easy task for her to clear the pains of the people, wipe out the tears of the people, because not only one or two, many people were there as sufferers, as poverty sufferers or as leprosy sufferers, as crippled people and also very poor people. So it was not an easy task for her. The task that Mother Teresa undertook was not so easy. She, however, had full trust in God and was convinced that God would help, guide and direct her. So she did not lose her hope. She strongly believed that God would help her. She believed that God would help her or guide her, direct her to work for the poor people of Kolkata slums. She had full trust in God and was convinced that God would help, guide and direct her. With her untiring efforts, what is untiring? Restless efforts. With her untiring efforts, she was able to set up an open-air school for poor children. So with her continuous efforts or restless efforts, she was able to set up one school for poor children, open-air school for children. When people saw the good work she was doing, they offered help. Kolkata people, when they realized Mother Teresa, when they understood that Mother Teresa was working for the poor people, the people of the Kolkata city also started to help her. Within a short time, she was able to expand her area of work. Because with the help of the people, she was able to expand her work from one locality to another locality also. In 1950, she started the Missionaries of Charity Order. Missionaries of Charity. Spelling MISSIONARIES. Missionaries of Charity Order. In 1950, she started the Missionaries of Charity Order. In her own words, the missionaries of charity would care for. So let's see what would be the work of missionaries of charity. She told to the people, Mother Teresa told to the people, missionaries of charity would work for the poor people. Missionaries of charity would care for the hungry, suffering people, the naked people, the homeless, the crippled, the blind, the lepers, all those people who feel unwanted and unloved, uncared for throughout the society. People that have become a burden to the society and are shunned by everyone. Shunned means rejected. So in 1950, she started the Missionaries of Charity, an organization for helping and supporting poor people, crippled means physically challenged people, and also that means lepers, people who suffer the disease leprosy, and so many such category of people. Let us see that in her own words, the Missionaries of Charity would care for the hungry, the naked, the homeless, the crippled, the blind, the lepers, the all those people who feel unwanted, unloved, uncared for throughout the society. People that have become a burden to the society and are shunned by everyone, shunned, rejected by everyone. In the society, some people would be rejected by other category of people, just like upper class people, high class people, rich people. These people are always trying to avoid the poor people, and also leprosy suffering people, naked people, mad people, mentally challenged people, such category of people. So she wanted to work for them. She wanted to support such a category of people. That is what she worked for, the people who were rejected by everyone. Mother Teresa was awarded several prizes because of selfless work of Mother Teresa. She did not expect anything, any reward from anyone. She never expected that. She never expected good words from the people also. But she decided to dedicate her life for the poor people of Kolkata slums, for the homeless people, for the blind people, for the mentally challenged people, for naked people, and for lepers, crippled people, the people who were rejected by everyone. She thought that she wanted to work for them, she wanted to dedicate her life for them. That was her real mission. She believed in God and she thought that God would help her. And because of her selfless work, she was awarded several prizes. Mother Teresa was awarded several prizes during her lifetime. Let us see which awards she won. The Pope John 23rd Peace Prize. Pope John 23rd Peace Prize. The Jawaharlal Nehru Award for International Understanding and the Magsaysay Prize. Raman Magsaysay Award. This award is also given to the people who are working selflessly for the people all over the world. That is outstanding contribution to international understanding. People who are contributing selflessly for international understanding. Raman Magsaysay Award. So which were the awards she won? The Pope John 23rd Peace Prize, the Jawaharlal Nehru Award for International Understanding, and the Magsaysay Award. It was in 1979 that she was awarded the best prize, the Nobel Peace Prize. So which were the awards? Pope John 23rd Award, Jawaharlal Nehru Award, Magsaysay Award, and of course the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979. When Mother Teresa died in 1997, the whole world grieved. Grieved means cried, because such a personality is very, very rarely only can be seen in the world. When Mother Teresa died in 1997, the whole world grieved for the selfless lady who always reached out to the poor, the needy and orphan. She always worked without seeking anything, any reward. She was always willing to work for the homeless people, orphaned people, the needy people. And that's why when she died in 1997, people all over the world cried. She was declared a saint in 2016 and is now officially known as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. When Mother Teresa died in 1997, the whole world grieved for the selfless lady. Selfless lady means she was willing to do any work without seeking anything, without expecting anything. That is called selfless. When she died in 1997, people all over the world cried because she was always willing to work for the poor, the needy, and orphaned people. She was declared a saint in 2016 and is now officially known as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Students, you read this chapter very thoroughly, understand all the difficult words and read again and again, and study and understand about Mother Teresa. She will be a real inspiration for all of you. Try to be like her or try to work for humanity. Learn about such kinds of famous personalities who dedicated themselves for the humanity, human goodness. So try to do something for the society. Thank you.